Throughout my life, I've lived with the dead. From a small child growing up in an old house on the south side of Indianapolis, where a spectral lady would visit nightly, to my life now as an adult, I've chosen to continue tracking down the mysteries of hauntings. I'm not sure why I've always been drawn to the shadows. Perhaps it's just in my DNA. Maybe the fact I never had a chance to not believe in ghosts. And that's why it's led me down this path that I've been on. Haunted places for me have always been more than just spooky spots we go to so we can catch a thrill. Definitely, I'd be lying if I said that I didn't get a rush every time I see a ghost or received a voice responding to me from an empty room. But for me, a haunted place is a living thing. It breathes, it takes in energy. You can feel it from the moment you step across the threshold. Maybe my fascination exists in the shadow-filled hallways or dark corners of long-forgotten places. Who were they? What was their life like? And what answers could they give me about the afterlife that could perhaps help me understand better my own reality of life? I'm not sure. But I do believe we all have a fascination with the grave, or more so the possibility of escaping it. Over the years, I've stayed at so many forgotten roadside haunted bed and breakfasts. I've slept with my feet dangling over the edge of what some authors described as the doorways to hell. Two things that I've found to be undeniably true in all these years I've spent researching the paranormal. One, ghosts are real. And two, you don't see them quite as often as TV shows would have you believe. Now, hearing them, that's a different story entirely.
We're going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west.
Stop this. A UFO.
One place I stayed many years ago was called the Talbot Tavern, located in Bardstown, Kentucky. It's one of the oldest continuously operating taverns in the United States, with a rich history that dates back to the late 1700s. It gained notoriety for being haunted, attracting ghost enthusiasts and curious visitors alike. The Talbot Tavern was built in 1779 by a man named James Talbot. It served as a stagecoach stop for travelers along the route between Louisville and Point South. Over the years, it welcomed many notable guests, including politicians, soldiers, famous figures from American history, so many. The tavern has hosted a variety of prominent figures, including Daniel Boone, the famous frontiersman and explorer. He was rumored to have stayed at the tavern during his travels. Stephen Foster, the well-known American songwriter, famous for the songs like Oh Susanna, he spent time there. And of course, various Civil War soldiers. The tavern was a strategic location during the Civil War and housed soldiers from both the Union and Confederate sides. The building features original beams and a rustic charm, retaining much of its historical character. Its dark wood and dimly lit interiors contribute to its eerie atmosphere, making it a focal point for ghost stories. The Talbot Tavern is renowned for its paranormal activity, with numerous ghost sightings and unexplained phenomena reported over the years. Here are some of the key aspects of its haunted reputation. Many stories circulate about the tavern's ghostly inhabitants. Notable among them, the ghost of a young girl. This is a famous one. Actually, Vincent Price did a story on one of his terror night shows a long time ago about this young lady. Visitors have reported seeing a young girl in a white dress roaming the halls. She is often described as a playful, sometimes giggling or tugging at people's clothing. A man in a top hat is another one. Some guests have reported encounters with a ghostly figure of a man dressed in period clothing, often identified as a former owner or patron of the tavern. And of course, Civil War soldiers. Numerous guests have claimed to hear the sounds of soldiers' boots marching, as well as whispers and voices in the night, attributed to spirits of soldiers who passed through during the Civil War. With eyewitness accounts, numerous visitors have shared their experiences. Mysterious cold spots, many individuals have reported sudden drops in temperatures, particularly in specific rooms and hallways. Objects moving, some patrons have claimed to see utensils or furniture move on their own, or items that they set down in one place mysteriously appearing in another. Strange noises, reports of door creaking, footsteps, and odd noises have been common, especially late at night. Paranormal investigators. The Talbot Tavern has been a subject of numerous paranormal investigations. Teams of ghost hunters and enthusiasts have used equipment such as EVP, which is, of course, electronic voice phenomena, their recorders and infrared cameras to capture evidence of spectral activity, which they have. The haunted claims at the Talbot Tavern are supported by its extensive history, the many visitors who have experienced odd occurrences. Some of the facts include historical significance, like given its age and the number of people who have passed through. It's plausible that residual energy may remain in the building. Civil War history. The tavern's use as a military stop during the crazy time of the American Civil War may contribute to the lingering spirits of those who experienced trauma and conflict there. Some of the more spooky facts. The location itself, Bardstown, is known as the most beautiful small town in America. It has a rich history of ghost stories and hauntings, making the Talbot Tavern a prime location for ghostly folklore. The tavern occasionally hosts ghost tours and special events centered around its hauntings, drawing in tourists and locals alike. Plenty of mediums visits. Some psychics and mediums have visited the tavern, reported strong connections to the spirit world, further solidifying its haunted reputation. In conclusion, the Talbot Tavern in Bardstown, Kentucky is not just a historic establishment. It's a nexus of stories, legends, and ghostly encounters that continue to intrigue and captivate visitors. Now, whether one believes in the supernatural or not, the tales of the spirits that roam its halls add an enchanting layer to its already rich history, making it a noteworthy destination for anyone interested in American history and the paranormal. So the next time you decide to take a drive down I-65 southbound and you see the sign for the Bardstown exit, maybe you stop the car, turn off, stay a night, walk those ancient streets just like I did. See if you can feel the vibrations of the energy that place has. Like many places I've had the honor of staying, I believe that Bardstown and the Talbot is marked. The spirits are familiar with these surroundings, and they refuse to give way to the living. It's a warm place with excellent bourbon, and a place where history and the living walk hand in hand, forever and ever, throughout the generations. Hey guys, thanks for going with me on another spooky episode of your Shadow Nation podcast. If you like this one or any other episode, be sure to smash that like and subscribe button on YouTube. It really does help, folks. Also, check out 17 years of mind-bending paranormal content just like this one on the website at shadownation.com. And if you have any cool stories or just want to reach out and shout at me, please get me on my email at Shaun, SHAUN, @shadownation.com. I'd love to hear from you guys. From the haunted back roads of America, this has been another exclusive Shadow Nation podcast. Don't go changing America. You know I won't, because I love you. Good night, everybody.